Good afternoon, our dear viewers. Trust your week has been great, and I welcome you all to today's session with Asset Debt Recovery. And like you know, my name is Oluwatayo Iyanolowa Olajumoke, and yes, we've started the topic: what effect does debt has on your mental health? And you know, last week we started saying that the common adage for everybody out there is debt. Is health is wealth. You know, when you have a good health, you are rich, you are okay, and everything is fine. And also we dropped a few points on what impact does debt have on mental health. What are the things that debt triggers on our mental health? And the first point we talked about denial, and we talk about embarrassment. You know, it brings about embarrassment, and you know, there's a way this our body passes information, passes messages to our brain. So we talk about embarrassment, and also we talked about denial. And okay, so today, and we'll be talking about few other things, few other impacts, few other effects that debt has on our mental health, things it triggers, and how it come in place. So first point I'll be mentioning today is the first impact, the first effect is stress and tension. And you know, on financial terms, you know, when you hear stress, you know, it's like you started panicking, or when something is not yet due, and then you remember, oh, this thing is coming to an end, I need to renew my rent, I need to pay my bills. This urge of you being your heart start beating fast, you start thinking. Some people even overthink on how they want to get this, you know, financial situation solved and settled. And it's actually not really a good thing, because our mind is meant to be at rest and at peace. And if your mind is on the other side, you know, you're being eager, you're rushing, your mind is not at rest, you're not having that full peace of mind, it actually triggers a lot of things, like your blood pressure might increase, and indirectly you wouldn't know, because to you, you just feel like, I'm just worried, I'm stressed out. And also, I will also have to say that, okay, another thing it brings about is anxiety. You know, apart from stress, yes, it has anxiety and worries. A lot of people tend to start getting worried over how they're going to pay their bills, how they're going to solve the issues, how they're going to, you know, clear their name of debt, especially when it even starts with embarrassment. You know, families and friends reaching out to you, calling you on, oh, you are owing, you need to pay, you need to do this and that, and you started getting worried. While you're also getting worried on you want to repay this debt, you're also being worried about how you want to, you know, manage other bills, other needs. And part of some of our sessions, you know, we've talked about how to manage bills and meet debt. We've talked about it before, so you can go back to our videos to watch on things we said on how you can manage your debt at the same time while you're planning to pay up other bills. And another point I have is it triggers anger. Yes, it triggers anger. It's one of the effects. It triggers anger. And apart from the economic struggle, you know, the situation of the country and everything, everybody get angry easily. And you know, when you look at what causes anger, to some people it might be, okay, let's say they need to make up some payment. To some people it's probably because of money issues. You know, they didn't have that financial capability at that moment to clear one or two things, and indirectly it triggers their moods. And once your emotions are you know, destabilized, you get to you're already out of the line, and any small thing, even when they say things that might not really count, you start getting angry, you start getting pissed off. So it also has another effect on the mental health. And another point is frustration and confusion. Yes, some people, you know, anger leads to frustration. Anger leads to frustration. When you are angry and then everything just get out of hand, then some people they are already confused, they are frustrated, and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to get out of the mess. They are just worried on, how am I going to solve this? And it's actually having another adverse effect on the psychological stage, because you wouldn't know. your parts of the body, our part of the body, both mentally, physically, they works hand in hand. And if you're frustrated, you won't be able to sleep. That's when you start having headache, you start having migraine. In fact, some people, they will lose appetite. They'll tell you, I can't eat. Why can't you eat? Because I am owing somebody, I need to pay up the debt and the likes, and so on and so forth. So it's also another effect is frustration, and another one is feeling guilty and regret. Yes, apart from frustration, anger, some people, they started having this regret of, if I had known, I shouldn't have borrowed the money. If I had known, I shouldn't have used the money for this and this and this. And regret also has another its own side effect, because you wouldn't know what is going to trigger. You wouldn't know which other else situations it can lead to. And lastly, it causes depression. Yes, and I know that many of us are familiar with that word, depression. Depression is one of these serious issues that people get into, that most people even end up killing themselves because of it. Not because they want to, but because they are depressed and they couldn't know how to manage themselves or how to get out of it. And when you tend to ask them, what happened, how come? Then you start hearing, okay, you are owing somebody so amount of money, you couldn't pay back, and you just can't cope with all the pressure, the embarrassment, the insult, everything around it. And then it goes down into depression. And also it affects the family. You know, when someone is depressed, the person will not be able to think straight. You're not focused, you're not concentrated. You just start having this confused thoughts, like, okay, if I see this kind of money somewhere, even some people will be like, oh, let me just be going on the road and I should just see money. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. But one thing I would suggest is, and I would advise you out there, is money problem. You know, we all can determine what can happen when debt arises. Nobody can predict. But whatsoever situation you find yourself, I advise you to find someone out there you can talk to, someone you can speak with, a financial advisor that you can talk to, and I can assure you that you will definitely get out of it. That is certain. Going forward, okay, so I want to try to break down more on the mental health and physical health. And like I said, our mental health and physical health, they work hand in hand. You know, there's no way we are going to be fine mentally and it's not going to show physically. And there's no way we're going to be fine physically and it's not going to show mentally. It works hand in hand. So to what other effect does debt, have on our mental health? The first thing is it causes high blood pressure, in case you don't know how there. Because you are having so much pressure in your heart, your heart start beating fast and even above the normal rate. And because let's say you heard that, okay, your debt collectors are coming to your house by so time, some people will run away. Of course, I've seen an incident of a friend of mine who has a shop, and some group of women in the market borrowed money. So every time, they know the time they come visiting, they know the time they come to ask for their money, they will run away, come to my friend's shop to stay till, let's say, 2 hours, 3 hours. Once they know that, okay, these people should have gone, then they'll go back to their business. It started giving them this hypertensive heart, because they don't have the rest of mind, they don't have that peace of mind. So part of what it triggered your increase in blood pressure. And once your blood pressure is increased, like it's really, really high, then these are chances of being an hypertensive patient, which is even going to be more worse than the debt, because at that time you'll be servicing debt repayments. You also be servicing, okay, you really want to treat yourself, you really want to get better, you really want to take good care of yourself. Another thing is, like I said, the heart rate. Yes, it increases your heart rate. Just because you saw a message from a debtor, so person, you are owing us and you are loaned, your heart start beating fast. And through that, if care is not taken, it might even leads to other challenges like stroke, because when it keeps coming all the time, and there's no way you can control yourself to just suppress the pressure and think straight, then you wouldn't know what would happen. You wouldn't even you wouldn't even look at other symptoms that might be going up in your body, other symptoms that might be coming up in your body. And also emotions and moods. Yes, like I said the other time, anger. Everybody tries to get angry easily because of money matters. So your emotions, your moods, because of you being in debt, because of you having debt to service, you have a lot of things to repay, and there are a lot of pressure that, okay, some people are still coming to ask you for money, you still have other needs you need to pay. In such cases, your emotions is going to change. Let's just say somebody just reach out to you like, okay, so I need money. Before you know it, it might even be a normal thing for the person to just like, oh, maybe the person was just joking, and before you know it, you just change your mood, and then everybody will be like, maybe this person was joking with you, this and this, that and that, and before you know it, it's become something else that you wouldn't be able to handle personally. So, and apart from the emotions and mood, yes, memories and remembering things, it also can affect, because you are stressed out. There are other important things that you might actually put your mind that can be helpful to you, but because all that is on your mind is you really want to pay up this debt, you really want to get out of this whole situation you find yourself, it's definitely going to lead to you not remembering other things that will be of better benefit to you. And lastly, it also has an impact on our body gain or loss. Some people, because they've been thinking so much, they are stressed out, they are frustrated, they are depressed, they start getting lean. And it's not as if they are not eating. They are eating, they are taking the necessary nutrient, but something else is taking it from them, like because they are getting worried so much and they just couldn't help themselves. So, our dear viewers, if you find yourself in this situation, maybe you just take note that any small thing you're worried, any small thing your heart started beating fast, I would advise you out there to please and please consult a medical practitioner, someone who also has knowledge in mental health, physical health, and also can be of help when it comes to financial assistance as well, so that you can be able to know that, okay, are you physically fit or you're not. Okay, so I also want to drop this, that debt, no matter the age, it can affect anybody, young and old. It doesn't really specify that, okay, because I am a teenager, I can't be in debt. It's a lie. It can affect anybody. There's some people that are servicing student loans. There's some people that even older people that are servicing loans that they've accumulated from the time they were working to when they are now retired. So it can affect anybody. But irrespective of who is in debt, what I would advise and suggest is, once you take note that, okay, this thing is getting out of hand, and there's no just simple answers to it, you don't have money to pay, just do yourself a favor of finding an aggressive plan, like finding a way you can just get yourself out of it. And in a nutshell, speak to someone. We've been saying it constantly. Speak to someone, confide in someone, a professional who is more knowledgeable on debt management, profile management, finance advisor, counselor, and even a medical practitioner who has more knowledge on mental health, a psychologist. It's really going to help you get out of this debt as fast as possible. So don't say that, okay, because you're not going to talk to anybody, you're going to keep it to yourself. The more you keep quiet, the more these things keeps killing you. So for you to have a good health and for you to be rich, being rich is not until when you have money. Even when you have a good health, you're rich, because health is wealth. And for you to have a good and sound health, make sure you take good look into all these things and talk to someone about it. So, our dear viewers, yes, we've come to the end of today's session. I hope you'll be able to get one or two things, you've been able to learn one or two things. And if you have any question, any comment, any suggestion, kindly drop it in the comments box. We'll definitely read them and then get back to you. So, same time, we'll be expecting you to join us same time next week, as we'll be discussing further on debt and my finances. How can I find a balance? I just had to chip in the topic. So, my dear viewers, do have a wonderful weekend, Have a pleasant day, and take good care of yourself. Bye.